Hey guys, Bryce here. I wanted to cover long form YouTube videos for therapists, how to build trust and attract clients through search-based video content. So YouTube is a very critical platform, right? When you're doing marketing, right, you can either go out to people and that's called outbound, right? Versus people coming to you is called inbound. Now, historically on social media, people would have to like dance on TikTok, do a bunch of viral content to go like super viral on Instagram. But for 90% of people, they're never going to get more than maybe 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers, no matter what kind of content they do, especially if it's related to a service they offer, right? So YouTube is great because you can get people who are interested in whatever you're offering and you can help people along the way so that when they come to you, they're ready to put in the work, they're ready to go and get results, they're ready to really heal themselves, right? So I like YouTube specifically for those reasons. And also, YouTube content can bring in views for like years, right? It acts like a search engine so people can actually find you quicker, and then posts don't disappear very quickly. Now, people are already searching for certain things like how to stop panic attacks, why relationships fail, signs of burnout, how to stop overthinking, right? So, no matter what your specialty is, there's always someone that's searching for whatever you communicate and you talk about within your specialty. Right now, the opportunity is you can start attracting a lot of attention over time. You don't need a massive audience, and content starts compounding. Now, when I say compounding, that just means that for, let's say you make one video per week, right? If every single week you keep doing that, at the end of the year, you're gonna have 52 videos. Now, if each video can bring in like one client a year, right? That's 52 clients per year, and you're even gonna have a wait list after that, right? And so it can work very, very, very like consistently. Now, what you need, right? You need helpful videos, you need clear topics, searchable titles, and consistency. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. Consistency of doing like average videos is way better than doing like one super super polished, great, amazing, perfect video. Right? I made a good amount of my career, right, off of YouTube videos where I was just sitting in front of a camera, maybe it didn't have any background, it was a computer webcam, no microphone, no special editing or anything, right? I just put them out, and I was putting out a very high volume of these videos, right? Now, search-based videos work well because again, people are already searching for this. So you're not necessarily creating a need or creating attention, right? It's very hard to create like the need for someone to be searching for, therapy related questions, right? It's really hard to do that. But instead, if people already are searching for it, you're just putting yourself in the way of the search and the intent that they are already doing that they already have, right? It allows you to be able to create content around the demand that's already generated and already there, and it's easier than going viral, right? So like maybe one out of 1,000 people are going to go viral, but almost every person on the planet can make a YouTube channel that gets 50 views a video, and then they get you, clients consistently. Like to put in perspective, on my YouTube channel, out of I was running that for about 4 years. I only had two videos ever make it above 3,000 views. My top video was about 15,000 views. My second highest video was about 10,000 views. Other than that, most of my videos were below 1,000 views, right? Maybe 100, maybe 50, maybe 30, right? But I still made over seven figures with that small audience. Now, some topics, right? So you can do any topic that's within your specialty. How I like to look at it is like anything I've ever helped a client with, I write down like a list of like all the different challenges that I've helped clients with. So, right, so like look at your session notes, look at all your stuff. Now we're not gonna be publishing this, right? So it doesn't cross any HIPAA boundaries or anything like that. But you'll be writing down the topics and the different issues and challenges that you, number one, help people with, the things that people actually like came up with in your sessions, what were some of the stumbling blocks that came as a result of some of the, things that you kind of talked about from modalities you were practicing, right? And we just make a mind map of all those different things, right? Now, it's really important because then you can start using tools like Google Trends, Answer the Public. You can even ask ChatGPT, like, what are some ideas based on this list of topics that you help people with, right? And like, it'll get you in between like 30 to 50 different video titles that you can then start looking how you can educate people on this, right? So educating people within video is very important because people can start hearing your voice, they can understand your approach, and they can feel more emotionally safe, right? Because like you're teaching them, you're helping them understand like the kind of person you are, like what are your values, how do you see the world, and they're building more of a connection with you so they can start telling you more of the pains and the secrets. Now, here's a cool thing, right? The reason also why it's important is because when you start talking, like maybe you don't take on insurance, right? And you're offered private pay. That if you don't have a relationship built with them, and they don't know anything about you, or they're not really following your content, it can be a little bit more challenging to get them to want to, pay out of pocket when they could go with someone with insurance, right? That doesn't always happen, but sometimes it can happen, right? So by having the content, they're like, yes, I really want to work with you. I don't really care exactly how much it costs, right? Now, just to reiterate, you don't need a fancy production, right? It's like there's no expensive cameras. Like, yes, I have like a light here, but this is like a small light, right? It cost me, I don't even know how much it cost. I think it cost me like $30, right? But this is like my original thing I've been using for like 10 years, right? I do have much more fancy equipment, even for this video, right? I have like a DSLR camera right here. I'm not even using. I'm just using my webcam when I'm talking to you, right? I have selfie sticks. I have tripods. I have soft lights, right? I don't do any of that stuff, right? Because it's not needed. You're just educating people, right? When you have good educational content, you're actually communicating stuff that people care about. You don't need to be perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being there, right? It's kind of like that video with the I think it was like the adoption kind of agency. They were saying like you don't need to be a perfect parent to be a good one. You just need to be there. Right? That's really all people need, all kids need, right? When you're trying to be a parent. It's just that you're there, you're trying your best, and you're making an effort, right? That's really all we need. And again, one thing that does matter though is just having like clear audio. So like, like my computer audio, it's not the best, but it's not bad, right? Audio in a lot of cases is more important than how things look, right? So having clear audio, having very helpful information. So like it's almost like you should make your videos almost like a preview of what it's going to be like to work with you. Right. You want it to be basically people can kind of see like this. Okay, it's like a preview of what an average session will be like with you, right? Where you're gonna be communicating, helping, educating, and making sure the person feels really good, right? Then having a calm delivery is important. Like you don't just be like super agitated or angry or jittery. You just want to be very relaxed. Okay. Now, SEO titles, that stands for search engine optimization. Okay. We're creating videos around phrases that people are already searching, right? So, how to stop panic attacks naturally. That could be one video title you do. Five signs you're emotionally burned out. Why relationships slowly fall apart. Different things like this, right? And everyone that's watching has a different specialty, so that's why I'm like kind of going around different types of videos. But you got to be creative, right? If you're working with us inside of our mentorship program, like we can definitely teach you how to do this. And like I would actually come up with the different video titles for you if you decided to make video content, right? So let's kind of go into this. So clear beats clever. So a weak title would be like thoughts about healing. That's clever, but it's not really clear. Versus why trauma can make relationships feel unsafe. That's very, very clear. It solves a very specific issue. If someone sees this video, like, okay, this is what this person will, this is what this video will help me with, right? It's a very clear promise that you're giving with the video. Now, thumbnails matter. The cool thing about thumbnails, like you can make them with AI. I used to have to pay, like when I was doing with Canva, they would be okay, like they'd be good. But then to get like really nice looking thumbnails, I was quoted I think like $500 per thumbnail, and I paid it I think like two or three times because I was like doing like I did like a really cool vacation vlog, and I wanted the thumbnail to look great, so people would click on it. But yeah, just kind of looking back, it's like nope, no. Now ChatGPT and these different Gemini and AI different tools can actually make your thumbnails for you in 5 minutes, basically for $20 a month, right? So it's like it just makes things way easier. They analyze your niche. They say, okay, this is the best kind of thumbnail for this demographic, and then they just post it. It's crazy. So sometimes when making a thumbnail, like you'll see in my videos, it's like you can have like a picture. Usually how I like to think, but let me see if I can draw it. Right, it's gonna be like picture of you or someone, right? Someone representative of you or the type of client that you're looking for, right? And then it's gonna have like one or two words, one to three. Panic attacks, boom. And if you've ever watched YouTube, like you've seen it, right? So like just imagine this thing on screen is like the thumbnail. It'll be something like that, like panic attacks or burnt out or overthinking question mark, right? And it just makes people just like click on the video at a pretty high rate. Now you ideally want to be like for every like video you make, you want to ideally be between 3 to about 5% click-through rate. When you start posting videos, you'll know what that means because like in the analytics it'll show you. So about 3 to 5% is a pretty fair rate. I've gotten as high as like 7 to 10% on some videos, but most videos are gonna be like 2, 3, maybe 4% of people that see it are gonna click on it. So just just kind of be aware of that. Now, facial expressions matter, right? When you're building these like thumbnails, like having like a either a smile or a relaxed face or a face that matches whatever the video is about is very important, right? You might see videos online where people are like making goofy faces on thumbnails. You don't need to do that. Remember, you're trying to build a professional brand. It's like a warm but professional. We're not necessarily saying silly and professional, but like or silly. It's like warm but professional, and that's gonna build trust that you know what you're doing. Right. Also, recording setup. So don't overthink this. Like if you see, like this is not my regular recording setup. It's just for this group. This is like the most convenient place for me to actually like film. Because it's easy. I'm here pretty much every day doing most of my regular work, right? So I can just film it quickly. But it's not the best background, right? It doesn't have like my guitars. It doesn't have a cool image behind it. It's just like a room, right? So it's like the same thing. Don't overthink it. Just get going and kind of move to it, right? So what you can do is you can do a basic computer, laptop, webcam, or even a smartphone. A smartphone works really good actually. I usually, depending on where you're posting, whether you're posting on like YouTube, if you're posting on YouTube, you want it to be like horizontal. If you're posting it like on Instagram or Facebook, you do it vertical, right? Very quick, very simple. Now, again, audio does matter more than video, so you can use like a USB mic, you can use a lavalier mic, you can even use AirPods. It's gonna be better than the computer's built-in speakers, depending which kind of computer you have. If you have like a MacBook, your speakers might be, or your microphone might be good. I have like a PC, it does its job, it's not the best. Next thing, lighting setup. So you can have like I have a natural window right here. I have my window closed, like I have like with curtains and stuff, right? And I have like a lighting system here because like this light, the light, if you have a physical light, right, like an actual tool, like of a light box, then it does work a little bit better because like the light's more consistent versus if you have like a window, right? You can generally only film during certain times of the day, right? Because then the darker the room gets and there's no light, the more grainy the picture looks and the quality drops. So if you're gonna use a window, you know, you're gonna be filming during the day. If you have like a light, it can be any kind of light. It can be like a lamp. A desk lamp can be on your desk, and that can provide enough light, right? Ring light doesn't matter. Maybe you did like beauty videos in the past, or like you were trying to be like a beauty streamer or something, right? If you have the same like computer or like technology for video you already had or lighting system, just use the stuff you already have. But you don't necessarily need to like go and buy a bunch of stuff just to start making videos. Background setup. Usually if you have a therapy practice office, then that's a good place to do it. If you don't, you can use like just have like a wall with like maybe a bookshelf, maybe a plant, maybe a neutral wall, right? Depending on your ethnicity and your complexion, right? You might have a different background that's gonna be important. Like there's certain backgrounds. Like I used to have like a red curtain that I would have behind me in the videos. It was very thick, so you couldn't see like the light, but I would blend into the fabric. So people weren't really looking at me, they were looking at the fabric, right? Versus with this green, like I stand out from the green in the back, so it's good enough for right now, right? But it's a neutral color. Next thing, now your environment is your brand, right? So professional, trustworthy, simple. Don't have to go over the top. Just whatever your office is. This is one reason why I like having the office like in the images, the literature, and even in some of the videos because it's consistent, right? So if whatever your office is like is what basically what your brand is like, at least for the time being. So having it being consistent is really important. So next thing, so simple content strategy. So like we talked about, you do your thinking activity of all different things you've ever helped your clients with. Even if you don't have your own clients, like you're just starting your business, if you worked someplace else at a different agency, and you've helped people out in the past, just write that down in your thought pad. Now, ideally, you should have as many of these ideas you possibly can. Like ideally, if you can, like get like, 20, 30, and it doesn't have to be all at one time. You keep adding to this idea list over and over and over again. My current idea list has about, I'd like to say it has about 2,000 to 3,000 video topics, but that's over like 4 years, right? Where I'm constantly adding like 200 or 300. I tend to do mine in bursts, so I'll do like 30 and I'll kind of like film some of them, then I'll do another like 40 or 50. Right. And again, there's a lot of tools that can give you different ideas. But if you basically have the topics and stuff you've helped people with, and you throw that into either AI or you throw that into a tool like Answer the Public, then it's going to start really predicting those titles for you. And then it's your job to kind of figure out which of the videos do you want to do in what order, right? So just remember one long form video per week. So you take one of the topics, you make a video title for it. You do just one, right? Make sure the title's clear. Make sure it has a very simple thumbnail. You can also build AI, or if you want some templates, I can give it to you inside of our mentorship program. But yeah, next thing, remember, the goal is not fame. It's about building trust potential clients. You can have 12 viewers per video for the next 5 years, and you would still be able to go and get 5, 10, maybe even 15 clients from that, right? And then if they're recurring, they want your help for a long period of time, then you're good, right? So you don't need to get thousands of views. That's a big misconception, right? If you have 30 to 50 views, you're going to be making like 6 figures per year, right? It's very, very critical. Next thing, remember the real goal. So if this therapist, really what you want people to say when they watch this therapist understands exactly what I'm experiencing. If you have someone say that and they're like, yeah, this person knows me. Oh my gosh, this is the right place to be. It's going to be a critically, like, just going to work really well for you. Okay. So remember, YouTube can become a long-term marketing asset if you're willing to put in a little bit of time every single week and you're willing to like make the videos and do the work. Okay. It'll be a little uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. Everybody's uncomfortable when you're trying to learn something new. Okay. So next thing, if you want some help growing your practice, right, click the link inside of the description below this video to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our private pay mentorship program. Okay. I will talk to you soon. Some Bryce Tubbs of the Private Pay Way. I'm looking forward to working with you. Have a good one.